time to take a TO with coaches Turner and O'Neill. Produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by DJ Krissy.
It's time to take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. Your new favorite podcast features conversation from the world of high school, college, and pro sports, along with other riveting content. Connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Turner O'Neill Podcast and on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, or visit www.turnerando'neill.com. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, and more than 15 podcast platforms. We also invite you into the studio each week via YouTube. Subscribe and watch each episode on our YouTube channel at Turner O'Neill Podcast. Thanks to our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Our partners, the Tamara Cusick Team, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, and Insurance Alliance Group, LLC. Our sponsors, O'Neill Development, LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. And our donors, Winsight Media, Gene the Barber, Body and Beyond Wellness, and Justin O'Neill. Take a TO with Coach Turner and O'Neill is produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by me, DJ Krissy. Now we welcome you to today's episode as we take a TO with coaches Steve Turner and Casey O'Neill. Here's your host, Kurtis Cross.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 21 of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. I am Kurtis Cross, your host, and I'm joined by coaches Steve Turner and Casey O'Neill. Coach Turner is back in the studio with us this week, and we are at full strength. No more penalty box. We're at full strength, gentlemen. Our premier partner for Season 2 is Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Ray is a friend of the program, and he is the only mortgage lender we endorse right here at Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. Ray Cruz is Mortgage Intelligently. We'd like to thank our partners, the Tamara Cusick Team, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, and the Insurance Alliance Group, LLC. This week, Coach Turner is in between flights. It's Memorial Day. We've got NBA and NHL playoffs. The NCAA Women's Lacrosse Championship is in the books, and we will preview the Men's Division I Lacrosse Championship between UVA and the Maryland Terps. But before we get into all of that, gentlemen, how was your week? Coach Turner, don't give out any secrets yet. I've got a segment scripted for you. Other than the big news we're going to talk about, how was your week, sir?
Oh, it was pretty good. I had a 21st anniversary.
Yes, you did?
Yeah. So that was great. And shout out to my wife. And little road trip.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that a little later.
Yes, sir.
And great weekend. Watching J-Rock play a little hoops with his AAU team down in Indy. Mm-hmm. And he had a very good weekend. Played well. So I was very happy for him. And he's is moving on to a new team. He's kind of finding his rhythm. Okay. With this new team and having some pretty good opportunity, which I'm happy for him and definitely proud of him.
I was there 21 years ago at that wedding.
Yeah.
Steve Turner had a bad wedding, y'all. It was nice. I mean, he had different rooms. He had one room. Nap was playing, right?
Grandfather, yes.
Nap Turner was playing guitar, I feel like.
Bass.
And he was in a room. I was in a different room DJing. And we know the stories about how scared I was. I don't know if you know, but their first dance song, Spend My Life With You, Tamia and Eric Benet. This was back in the days of CDs. I put the CD in. I'm getting ready to play their first dance song. We are good to go. And I take it out for some reason, put another CD, and the damn CD would not read. Every time I tried to put it back in, I'm like, this is their first dance song. Oh my God, I got to have this ready. Once I got it in, it did play, didn't touch it again. But they had a great wedding celebration down on the Southwest waterfront.
Out on the Southwest waterfront.
Yeah.
Leah's godfather lived in a condo complex there. Yeah. And they had an unbelievable little event space.
And you could separate into different rooms.
Separate in different rooms. We had a nice tent set up outside for a second area for those who wanted.
So I guess you probably had cocktails in one room. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it was food in one room, cocktails in another, dance floor. You could walk outside on the balcony because they had the pool outside.
Yes.
And then you could go outside. Another tent set up where you could get some good beverages.
Right.
And we partied all night. That was
21 years ago.
People still talk to me about that wedding celebration after the wedding. And hopefully maybe we'll redo it again sometime.
You're going to get 21 more. I know you're going to get that.
Definitely going to do that, but I think at some point I'd love to recreate it.
Right. Well, congratulations to you and Leah. You have a wonderful family, wonderful life together. We're all watching it, but 21 years ago, that was a lot of fun. I can't believe it was 21 years ago, though.
It's been a minute.
Coach O'Neil, talk to me about your week, sir.
What's the episode number today?
21.
Yep. How does that work?
21.
How did that work?
I'm on my way to 7-Eleven. I got to play my numbers.
You going to play 21?
21's
21's going to be one of them?
21's going to be one of them.
21. Look, I don't know what season it is because of the weather we've had the last few days.
It was 53 degrees yesterday.
50 degrees, Memorial Day weekend, pouring rain. Cicadas took a hiatus for a quick minute. They're back out there. Mrs. O'Neil and I celebrated anniversary last week as well. Not 21 years, but we've been together. We've been together for a long, wonderful,
what
amazing
number was
time,
it?
and it gets better and better. 14.
14
for us. Have had just an incredible journey together, and we always say or joke about it. It feels longer, and it is. It's much longer than that we've just had an incredible journey. So we had an awesome time, but missed you, Coach, last week.
I missed you guys,
Krissy
man.
put up with us.
Yes, you did.
I definitely missed you guys.
But here we are on a Monday morning recording, and it's good to see you, Coach. It's good to see you back. But I'm doing well.
We did karaoke without you last week.
Oh, man.
We did some karaoke.
Okay, so what were the songs?
If you watch the
It's
video
5
from
o'clock
last-
somewhere.
yeah,
We did that one.
We did. And I had some good air high fives with my
Did y'all have
coach
some
missing here.
red cups in the room?
I can't talk about that. You got to watch the video. You got to watch episode 20.
All right.
DJ Krissy, how was the week for you? You've been busy with work. I know that.
It's been a little bit busy. First, I got to say congrats, both of you guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yes, busy this past week. Getting back into it, doing a little wedding here and there.
Ladies and gentlemen, her name is DJ Krissy. She is a DJ by trade. That's what she does. So you had a couple of weddings this weekend, right?
Yeah,
All right.
a couple weddings this weekend. And just to reiterate what Casey said, what happened to spring? I mean, it's almost
coming back.
summer, right?
Well, today is a nice day.
I mean, I guess.
It's a little chilly. It's a little bit chilly, but it's going to warm up into the 70s, and then this week it's going to
Yesterday.
we're going to start getting some crazy weather.
It was crappy yesterday.
And
was awful.
Saturday.
Yeah. One of your weddings was supposed to be outside, right?
Yeah, Saturday was supposed to be outside.
Not so much.
No.
They had to make a last-minute move into the chapel. Yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
inside.
All right. So you didn't get any hikes in this weekend because of work and the weather,
Sure
right?
didn't.
But you might today. I think you might today, right?
Possibly today, yes.
All right.
Just a matter of, timing, all that good stuff.
Right.
Got to try to fit it in.
All right. All right, good. Well, we are back. The gang is here. The gang is all here. Last week, DJ Krissy did put up with me and Coach O'Neil in the studio while Coach Turner was away. So if you want to hear a different starting five, some in-studio karaoke, and more, go back and take a listen to episode 20 on Spotify, Buzzsprout, iHeartRadio, or take a look on YouTube. We are coming right back with this week's headline. Kurt Cross here, producer of Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neil. You know, there are few relationships more solid than the bond between a man and his barber. For years, I've gotten my cut with Gene the barber. Gene has been cutting my hair for more than 20 years. Now, if you have a barber you're happy with, I understand. But if you're new to the area or looking for that perfect cut, my man Gene will tighten you up. Call him directly at 240-687-7253 and make an appointment. Gene the barber, 240-687-7253.
Take a TO with Turner and O'Neil would like to thank our friends of the program: Shane Benson, Todd Bradley, Paula Cross, Susan and Brendan O'Neil Sr., Daniel Richard, Noah Richard, Andrea Terronez. If you'd like to become a friend of the program, go to www.turnerandoneil.com and click Become a Friend.
Connect with us socially on Instagram and Facebook at Turner O'Neil Podcast, on Twitter at Turn1 Podcast, on YouTube, just search Turner and O'Neil, then subscribe. And of course, you can visit our website at www.turnerandoneil.com. A-Squared Home and Office Solutions is the go-to source for home or office network and audiovisual solutions. We can help with smart home integration, wireless networking, media rooms, security systems, and more. We will link technology to your style seamlessly. Visit homeandofficesolutions.com for more info. One Headline is brought to you by
Insurance Alliance Group manages the gap between damage appraisal estimates from your insurance company and what you are rightfully owed based on your policy. They work on behalf of policyholders with claim assistance and disputes to maximize claims. Insurance Alliance Group serves as professional advisors and trusted advocates. The Insurance Alliance Group handles business and home property loss. Request a free claim review with the property loss professionals. Insurance Alliance Group. Visit us at insurancealliancegroup.com or call 866-574-4773.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill. Welcome back to Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill. Today's episode is brought to you by Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. This week's headline: we've had a handful of incidents lately where NBA fans are directing verbal or physical assaults at players. Westbrook, Kyrie, and Trae Young, and also I believe John Morant's father, are the latest to have had such incidents happen to them. Your take on this, Coach Casey O'Neill?
I firmly believe, even outside of just the NBA, that in recent weeks, as things open up, I've had conversations with folks about emails they've received from local pools that opened up this weekend, people that work at stores, people in our own community where folks just aren't acting the way they should act.
Right.
And you don't want to ever blame, pointing a finger at the pandemic and people are coming out. But I think people are acting ridiculous right now, and not just in these. I mean, this is uncalled for. Obviously, the NBA security needs to do a better job. They haven't had to have this much security because this many people haven't been in the buildings for a year and a half. Yeah. So you have people, but I think it's a bigger problem where our whole society is acting and thinking that they are above the law, that they are above acting as good people, and it's a bigger problem than just these situations.
Obviously, these are on camera and stuff, so they're on camera.
But it's completely uncalled for. Just to give an instance, a friend of mine said that a local pool had to send an email the way people were treating. Just this past weekend, Saturday opened up the pool for a lot of places, and he said it was out of town, but the way they were treating the lifeguards, the way they were treating the staff, the way that people just think they can do whatever they want to do.
Right.
And now you see people out and about, and it's just, whew. I don't think cooler heads are prevailing, and I think this can continue to get worse and worse. And I'm just glad that we haven't had something that's really gone over the top. But seeing the Westbrook thing, seeing Kyrie and the Trae Young, I mean, that's ridiculous. Was it spit? The guy spit?
Yeah,
I mean, what are we doing, people? I mean, let's not forget that who we are as humans and treating each other with respect. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
The one thing that I don't care for is when I hear people say, well, you're $1 million athletes, you got to put up with this, that, and the other. That part I'm not buying. I'm not buying. Now, as $1 million athletes, I don't want to see someone refuse to talk to the media. It's part of your collective bargaining agreement, that kind of thing. But just like you go to your job, Krissy goes and does her gigs, you have to coach on the sidelines, I have to do my gigs. I don't want the guy at 7-Eleven or the woman at Kaiser or whoever, I don't want them to get mistreated either. They're on a bigger stage, but that doesn't mean they have to put up with more garbage and their decency.
Right.
You don't go, when you go to, I'm thinking Cook's. You don't remember Cook's Market. You remember Cook's in Four Corners, right? But you don't go to Starbucks. Let's say you go to Starbucks and treat the person behind the cash register like they're nothing. And you don't treat Westbrook like he's nothing. I think they have to put up with stuff like, oh, you suck or boo. Those are fan kind of things. And that can get out of hand too.
Sure.
But when Westbrook went in the stands once, and I think we talked about it, to tell someone they need to calm down, you don't talk about someone's family. You don't throw things at people. You don't spit at people.
No.
And you don't, even if you're not cursing at the player, you should be a responsible fan in the stands. You got 8-year-old kids who saved all their piggy bank money to go to a game. You don't need to drop F-bombs and get out of control because you're drunk and do anything like that. And the players, we're there to see the players.
Right.
When they go into, I can't think of the name. What's the name of your gym?
Carmody Center.
Carmody, okay, yeah, it is. You don't go to Carmody Center so you can throw stuff at Coach Turner or boo him. These are 17-year-old boys, so your take, sir.
Well, but before you answer this, in our conference, you've probably read it 100 times, the WCAC Sports Creed.
Yeah, I do.
Right? About officials and about how to treat people.
Yeah.
As soon as that's read in every sporting event, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, lacrosse, I mean, we've heard it. I could recite the darn thing.
Right.
And it about how to act as fans and how to act as people. Give it 5 seconds as soon as that thing is done, and they're yelling at the refs. They're acting like a fool,
Right.
and it's ridiculous.
It's
absolutely ridiculous.
I've done some WCAC games, and I have to block it out. I have to block it out.
The fan noise and the parent noise, and it's just I don't know why people think that we are above and better and can say what we want to say. And it's at the end of all of this, and I know we're talking about the NBA, the only thing that we're hurting is the young people, is the players.
Well, the thing,
and you made a good point. In this situation, the fan that's dropping his popcorn on Westbrook and spitting, it's that 7 or 8 year old fan that sees it and thinks it's okay.
Right.
It's the kid watching on TV that's, I can't wait to go to a game and boo and do these things. We just have to do better.
And we are talking about pro sports,
yes.
But you want your
we're
kids,
hurting the kids.
You do want to win, but you want your kids to compete,
Sure.
have fun, come out healthy, and learn some team lessons from this. That's what you want. And again, we're talking NBA here, but Steve, you've seen the headlines on TV, and you've heard some of the things in the stands. Let me tell you what I didn't hear. I didn't hear much of it until I got behind the mic again. When I was a coach, I turned it out or turned it off.
Sure.
But boy, the things they say, I'm hearing. I'm like, are you serious right now? But Coach Turner, I know you got something on your mind about this. Talk to us.
I think there's certainly a place for competitive
Juice.
Some jarring, right?
Cheering,
Yeah.
I don't even say jarring, but I mean the jarring should be between the fans. I mean, one of the things that attracted me to Gonzaga was the banter back in the day between DeMatha's student body and our student body.
When I see that, it's awesome.
But done the right way.
Yeah.
And to have a guy like Coach K, who recruited and brought one of my young men from Gonzaga to play for Duke, say to me at the game that he went to, it was a Gonzaga-O'Connell game at Gonzaga, packed house, and they had Kendall Marshall at the point, and we had Tyler Thornton at the point, who both grew up playing together, both ended up being ACC point guards. And for him to say after the game, you have to excuse me because as much as I wanted to just enjoy the game, I enjoyed your student section.
Right.
Because he said it reminded him of feeling like he was at home with the Cameron Crazies. So when you see something like that, yes, that's the way it's supposed to be done, and that's respectful. But there are people now taking it way too far.
Absolutely.
Whoever it was, and they keep blocking his face out.
Yeah, they do.
That spit on Trae Young. Someone should have walked in the stands and knocked him cold out.
Right.
Because I've always said, there's a lot of things you can do to me, but if you spit on me, it's the most disrespectful thing you could ever do to me.
Absolutely.
More than any cuss word you could ever call me,
Yeah.
more than anything else. But to spit on someone is to me, the most blatant sign of disrespect.
So tell you you're ugly, but don't spit on me.
You can call me every name under the sun, but if you spit on me, I'm going to try to kill you.
Right.
And I've had it happen playing soccer, playing.
You talked about
playing soccer. And
you've been called some things.
I've been called some. I don't have any problem. You can say whatever you want to say and call me. I don't. Well, they say sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. But to spit on me, I'm gonna try to take your head off.
Right.
And I had a guy do that when we were playing in a club soccer game, and needless to say, it did turn into an all-out brawl. Because you're not going to do that.
You don't do that.
You're not going to do that to me. But the fans who pay this money to come and see the players, come and see the players and enjoy the game. These guys are out here to entertain and put on a show, but not to be demeaned, disrespected, have their families be disrespected. It's not right, and the NBA has to put it into it. And I think the players, when they get these guys and they bring them in, prosecute them to the fullest.
Right.
Like
that's assault. You spit on someone, that's assault.
Dropping popcorn on somebody. Assault. Throwing a water bottle at somebody. It's just wrong. I don't care what your disgust for that person is. With Kyrie and the Celtics, it's him leaving, and now I think Kyrie was wrong with what he did, going and stepping on the Celtic and kind of rubbing his foot before the game. Right. That's not cool either. But that's not cause for somebody.
It's a logo.
That's not cause for somebody to throw a water bottle at him.
Right.
You've seen it in NHL penalty boxes where they throw stuff over
I've
at
seen
those
that.
guys. Even on the benches, you've seen someone like John Tortorella, I guess with the Rangers or somebody, fans right behind here squirting water on them. You've seen it in NFL games, guys on the sideline. The fans are close enough where they're yelling and throwing stuff. It's unacceptable, and it starts with little things and how we let kids kind of get away with stuff at those events.
They become big kids.
They become big kids, and you add some alcohol, and then you add.
I've dealt with it. There's some things that I think
I'm sure at NASCAR
within the WCAC, there are some fans in our league who cross the line, and it frustrates me at times that
adults don't do
the adults who are supposed to be leading them, and certainly also controlling them, don't do anything. And it happens at two places in our league in particular. I'm not going to call those guys out. They probably, if they're listening to the podcast, those schools know who they are. And I don't have a problem saying it, but it's ridiculous. There is a point. I have no problem with some of the fun banter that some of these kids come up with.
You can't guard him, all that stuff, right?
You could say there's certain things I have no problem with you saying to me, because honestly, the only thing you're doing.
It's fueling you.
You're
right?
fueling my fire. So I'm a grown man. There's nothing that a kid can really say too far out of line that's gonna get me upset.
Right.
Other than when it gets to the point of just being disrespectful. But all you're doing is you're adding fuel to the fire. And my job at that point is to coach the heck out of my team and hopefully knock you out.
And your players have your back, so they might get charged up too.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something that you mentioned. I want to flip this just for a second. I've been to, except for O'Connell, I think I've been to every gym. I've been to a lot of games. I haven't been to Riken, because years ago you told me I'm not going down to Riken.
Not going all the way to Riken.
Nice new gym now.
Not on the weeknight.
Nice new gym now.
Great gym. Oh,
yeah, you guys have
awesome.
talked about it.
Hats off to you, Riken.
Gonzaga, the boys in that Gonzaga behind the basket, them boys are off the chain. They're the best in the WCAC.
And we're not
because
saying,
they come out in numbers.
Yes.
And they're not disrespectful.
Well,
they're like,
I'm not saying they're perfect.
They can every now and then they can get a
I haven't heard it yet. But when I'm at AU Bender Arena or I'm at Trinity and I'm hearing your guys go, shirts are off. They're going crazy.
They're worth 10 points a game for sure.
They're going crazy.
In a hoops game.
Do you get that at Lacrosse? Am I going to see some of that at Lacrosse?
Oh, yeah.
We have in the past. Yeah, it hasn't felt like it in 3 years or so, but just because of the way we haven't had fans. And I saw a little bit of it this year, and that's a whole nother story and issue. But it's. I'm not saying those kids are perfect or not, and I think that. Myself as a coach, I totally agree with Steve. I've had things yelled at me, even for lacrosse games or fans. And
I've had stuff
talking about my.
Come on, I've had stuff come across from me from other coaches.
Coach, I had to step in front of you and somebody else at a semifinal game, and I was like, I got up from the score table and defending my boy.
You abandoned your post,
and then all of a sudden I look up and I'm like, oh shoot, this dude's about 6'9". But I was fired up for Steve, man. I didn't like what he was saying to Steve. And he'll remain nameless too, but I got in there and, our boss, another boss, like, what are you doing? I'm like, at this point, I'm all in.
This is more than one headline right now, but I'm loving it.
Right. Sorry.
I think the moral of the story is fans
do better.
Let the players play, let the officials officiate. I think I say this in the WCAC creed. And, be fans. I'm okay if you like O'Connell.
A positive representative of your school community.
That's exactly in the creed.
Just do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is your one headline.
Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill can be found on more than 15 podcast platforms. Listen to us on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. Tune in on your preferred podcast platform. Be sure to listen, subscribe, and spread the word. Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill records weekly with episode drops each Thursday at 11 a.m.
Next Level Lacrosse. Train like a Spartan. Next Level Lacrosse is dedicated to providing a terrific lacrosse experience that is intensely focused on player development and character formation. Players at all levels will improve significantly through professional coaching and carefully designed training programs. We stress proper technique and a tireless work ethic, from beginning programs to rec leagues, travel clubs to summer programs. We develop the young and experienced players alike. Next Level Lacrosse has a rich tradition of running the best middle and high school lacrosse leagues in the DMV area. You will find us at www.nextlevelspartans.com or call 240-497-1460.
Body and Beyond Wellness is acupuncture and wellness consulting. Our peaceful oasis is nestled just outside the Washington, D.C. Beltway. Our acupuncture treatments, workshops, and other wellness offerings will have you feeling restored, renewed, and revived. A limited appointment schedule is now available, but you must call in advance to schedule. Call 301-758-7980 or visit www.thebodyandbeyond.com for more info.
Winsight Media. Winsight delivers connections and intelligence to four of the fastest growing verticals: convenience retailing, grocery businesses, restaurants, and non-commercial food service through broad and cutting-edge platforms. No company is better positioned to meet the food industry's needs than Winsight. Connect with us at www.winsightmedia.com.
Building your brand is an important part of your business growth. By advertising with Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill, you'll gain the exposure and brand recognition behind our podcast. In Season 1, we reached a total of more than 100,000 listeners, viewers, subscribers, and website visitors combined. Your company will benefit from our popularity online and during the podcast. Advertising with Turner and O'Neill equals exposure on Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, and more than 15 listening platforms total. Inquire today and let's partner to build your brand.
The Starting Five is brought to you by Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. With a stellar reputation as an outstanding mortgage lender, Ray Cruz serves the lending needs of real estate professionals, builders, and individual home buyers in Maryland, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Texas, California, Florida, Illinois, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Ray believes that integrity is the cornerstone of his business, and helping you achieve your home financing goals is his business. Located in the heart of Bethesda, Maryland, contact Ray P. Cruz today to get started. Your home mortgage or refinance options await. Call 301-761-2278 or visit raypcruz.com. Ray P. Cruz, mortgages intelligently.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill.
The Starting Five. Welcome back to Take It To You with Turner and O'Neill. I am Kurtis Cross, your host, and as always, I'm with Coach Casey O'Neill and Coach Steve Turner. Our engineer is DJ Krissy. We are up to our weekly Starting Five. 5 questions that I will ask of both coaches. Each has 30 seconds to answer each question. They can defer 1 question per Starting Five. And one thing I didn't say is they've never seen the questions before, of course. If they go over their 30 seconds, DJ Krissy, what will happen? Gentlemen, let's do it. I'm going to start with Coach Steve Turner, who was absent last week. Cover of a magazine or guest on SportsCenter?
I've been on the cover of a magazine, so I got to go with the guest on SportsCenter.
All right. Coach O'Neill. You got a face for a magazine, Hollywood.
I was going to think magazine because that's good memorabilia right there.
April Fool's Day edition?
April. Hey, man, that sounds like April's my birthday. Might as well.
Why not? Give you the whole month.
Guess who?
Give you the whole.
I like the magazine. I like the magazine because you record the SportsCenter and this and that, but you can have the magazine forever. Frame it. Do that.
You already got the.
Hopefully, it's the right magazine.
You already got the April month with the chaps.
Yeah, he does have that.
I do. I have the April month with the chaps, and we could do May
with the dog.
Yeah, we could do a little Hawaiian theme or something. And
you gonna be in a grass skirt?
Yeah, calendar maybe. We do the calendar. The different
luau.
We go June gun show with the stick.
No, that's your birthday month. You got to get June.
No. I'm just talking. This
December.
is his calendar.
Okay.
I'm plotting him out for every month.
Okay, a lacrosse stick.
Yeah,
for,
that's what I said June.
I don't need that.
all right.
Gun show and a stick.
Right, there you go. We're going to build your calendar. If there's anyone who is an editor who wants to make a calendar, we're going to sell calendars. We're going to sell them for $10 each. Coach O'Neill.
Take a TO with Coach O'Neill.
There you go. Coach O'Neill, are we going Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner versus Sue Bird and Cheryl Miller? Who you got?
Taurasi.
You
Diana.
got a 6'8" girl with her,
Yeah.
with Brittany Griner. Who you going with, sir? Sue Bird and Cheryl Miller versus Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner. I know where I'm going.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts for me.
Gotta go with
Diana
Cheryl.
Taurasi.
going-
I'm going Diana Taurasi. She's my favorite. women's
You've said that
basketball
before.
player, period.
All right, coming back to you. Subway, eat fresh, build your perfect sub.
For Subway?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So for me, I'm starting off with a warm roll. It could be the 12-inch, mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, and I'm just going with the cold cut sub. No oil, no pepper, no spice, no nothing. Just mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato, cold cut sub, no cheese. I don't like cold cheese.
I don't know if it's the perfect sub, but when I go to Subway, I'm toasted Italian, BMT,
Right,
provolone cheese. Every now and then I'm play around with a little pepper jack.
right.
Lettuce, tomatoes, onions, light oil and vinegar, light mayo, salt and pepper.
That sounds good.
Let's rock it out. Let's rock it out with a red bag of Doritos.
Oh, the blue bag.
Nah, man, got to go original, or
Blue
they
chips.
don't have it.
Blue chips, baby.
Nah, they have it, but they don't have it. I like the spicy nacho,
We got some of
are
those.
the spicy nacho.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, the
And
Wonder
I'm not-
Twins connected, so I had to give him.
Yeah,
a
they
minute.
cut into it. He started off with his sandwich.
I mean,
and-
he had his
and,
sandwich.
You know,
Okay.
why is he? He says he's welcoming me back. Now he wants me to
I
be.
missed
dinged.
you last
Now he
week.
wants me to be dinged.
This is how we act when we miss
guy
we
for
missed
an
you.
hour. I couldn't look over.
We missed you, okay?
Jeez, little brothers.
What's your eat
Look
fresh?
at this. Welcome to my world.
First
Welcome
of all-
to my world.
First of all, shout out to Jersey Mike's and Capriati's, which make great subs. Jersey Mike's hooked us
Potbellies,
up
baby.
the other day. They messed up.
Potbellies.
Online order went awry.
It went south.
They came in because we had to go to a friend's house for a barbecue, and we were supposed to bring the subs, and they made us the boxes quickly. But this is going to sound unorthodox. Subway. I'm going chicken
Okay,
with the marinara sauce on it,
okay,
with a little bit of pepperoni, a little bit of provolone cheese.
good.
They're going to heat that.
okay.
And we're going to put a little bit of lettuce, tomato, and I know this is going to be crazy, a little Southwest sauce. It's called a chicken pizziola. It is fantastic.
Well, you love it, so it's a good
Now-
one.
That's my sandwich.
Now is it the breaded chicken or the grilled chicken?
It's the grilled chicken.
Okay.
Chicken pizziola. Trust me.
Now Jared
Cannot go wrong
Jared
with it.
on the other hand is the pizza man.
Yeah.
He's going steak,
Subway
bacon,
steak, though, I just can't get
ham,
around this. It's been sitting there and
pepper jack,
All right.
and that's it.
I think I'm gonna stick with my cold cut sub on
he's-
that one.
He's going hardcore meat.
All right, all right. Coming back to you, sir, Coach O'Neill. What new invention would you come up with?
new invention.
Yeah, something that would make your life easier. What would you invent?
I would. I'm gonna have to pass this, Steve. I gotta think about this for 2 seconds.
Like it would make your life
question.
easier, maybe in your work or in your home life or whatever.
Oh, no ifs, ands, or buts.
Mm-hmm.
I like to travel,
All right.
but I hate the in between.
Okay.
So teleporting, brother. We are teleporting. We are getting to anywhere we want to at the time we want to.
Lickety split.
Teleporting.
That's what he wants to do. You, sir.
You know, I'm trying to think of something here, and it has to do with, I think, hygiene. I know they came up with Purell, but and when you go to wash your hands and things like that, but there has to be something that you just don't. When you go to a restroom, automatic doors to open, because once I wash my hands,
I don't
and
wanna
do
touch the
everything
door.
like that, I don't want to grab the door after I'm done.
I do not.
So there's got to be a button where it opens up. I just don't want to touch anything.
But you gotta touch
after
the
I've
button,
just
right?
Yeah.
So I guess you want like a little light up
Yeah,
there,
like
so
a
it
little
knows
something
you.
where you just whoop, just open up. That's it.
They have that at the Marriott Pooks Hill Bethesda in their bathroom. They do, because we go to brunch there a lot, and you don't have to touch the door at all.
I mean, I just got everything organized. I'm good. And then I don't want to grab the, because then I got to grab the...
you got to get a paper towel
to open the door and then hold it and do that. Just give me some access there. So
we are going rapid fire. Coach Turner, a topic or area of interest that you'd like to be mentored on.
That's a good one. I might get dinged on that.
Is it rapid?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Does that mean he gets less time? That's rapid.
I don't call it rules. Golf?
I'm deferring. I'm deferring.
You know what?
You can't defer.
This is a new rule. He's deferring all 5 of them until later.
No.
Right.
Oh, okay.
It's rapid fire. Bang,
Oh, yeah,
bang,
you
bang.
Mike, that's fine. Go ahead.
All right, so now you're coming up. All 5 of yours. Someone you only met once, Coach O'Neill, but they impacted you.
This is how are you doing rapid fire with questions like this?
So, okay, mine was a guy named Michael Fox. I met him at a funeral, and he paid for my first year of college. He's the one who I met once, and he impacted me.
I don't know.
There's no deferring. You already deferred. Someone you
I
only
walked by
met
Michael Jordan one time at a golf event, and that affected me forever.
All right, good. One of your
solid.
earliest childhood memories.
Roy Rogers, baby.
All right, a must-see for someone visiting the D.C. area.
U.S. Capitol.
A UFO lands on Blair's football field. Do you go in it?
No.
Krissy's going. I know she's going in it.
No.
You don't want to see the mothership?
Oh, come
They
on.
might close those doors
That's
and take
what
you.
I'm saying. I don't want to get taken in. Some alien calendar shoot. I don't want to get in that. I'm good.
And next thing you know, they got 34 months of the year, not 12, right?
We watch our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I ain't going in that thing. Don't go in, man.
Your work family feud team.
Work Family Feud team. I'm taking
5 of them.
I'm taking Coach Turner.
Uh-huh.
I'm taking
Yourself?
I'm taking myself. I will take
got 3
Coach
more.
Jackson, Coach Maddox, and I'll take Joe Rada. I'll take the whole upstairs.
All
Sorry,
right.
Coach Travers.
All right, we're coming back to you, sir. A topic or area of interest that you'd like to be mentored on.
Stocks.
Stocks, okay? Something someone did for you that you'll never forget.
My mom, she gave me life.
There you go. Sum up your feeling for the sport you coach in one word.
Love.
What have you recently done for the first time?
Can't say. I could say, but I can't. No, it's not the first time. But,
No.
Right.
First time? Wow.
Besides recognize how awesome of a producer and engineer team you have.
Yeah, podcast.
No, it's not the first time. That's a no.
It's a stumper.
You know what? I didn't go travel with my son for an event.
All right, okay, yeah. All right, how far can you drive off the tee?
I can hit that shit a mile.
That's 5,640 feet or something. But
I mean,
couple hundred, 250?
I can get it out there to 3.
All right, you got me beat. I can go 2 and some change, but I ain't getting 3.
I've hit it to 3 before.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is your starting 5. The starting 5.
Let's get social. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter.
Connect with us on Instagram and Facebook at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, and on YouTube, search Turner and O'Neill and click subscribe.
Be sure to listen now at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, or Google Podcasts. Download the app and subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss an episode of Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill.
Healthy Baller is dedicated to developing athletes at any level through customized programs created by their world-class trainers. Healthy Baller creates an unparalleled training experience centered around the athlete and coach relationship. Between their physical therapy team and strength and conditioning staff, they create an all-encompassing process to help injured athletes returns to the field. For the young athlete, Healthy Baller is an excellent training and confidence builder. Paula and I personally know this as our children attend Healthy Baller twice each week. With Blair and Molly training our 12 and 10-year-olds, we can personally vouch for their expert training and dedication to each athlete. Call 844-622-5537 or visit healthyballer.com and tell them Kurtis and Paula sent you.
This segment of Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by
From Washington, D.C. to Ocean City, Woodbridge to Columbia, Richmond to Virginia Beach, the hottest DJs are right here. The Mid-Atlantic Professional DJ Association.
Current social distancing does not allow for event gatherings in the traditional sense. When it's time to plan your bar or bat mitzvah, office party, Sweet 16, or any event, we've got your party solution. Dynamic DJ Entertainment is your virtual event experts. Our virtual events division has perfected an entertainment experience like none other. We bring the celebration to you. Contact us for virtual trivia, office parties, nightclub nights, or any virtual event. Dynamic DJ Entertainment is your virtual event solution. Visit www.mapdja.com or call 301-942-4500.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill. Welcome back to Take It to Yo with Turner and O'Neill. It's time to get into topic number one. Coach Turner, you were not with us last week. I'd like to think you had good reason, and some of us know what that absence was all about. Before you speak on this, I'd like to take a moment to express the pride we have in hearing this announcement, and we love that you can now share this info. Let's tell our audience what we've been waiting for you to talk about. Why the heck did you abandon your brothers last week?
I was no abandonment. Why
I have feelings of abandonment. My social emotional is not right because you were not here.
Get over it. Get over it.
I guess video-wise.
Got something to do with that sweatshirt.
You can see. I was blessed with an opportunity to go work with the U16 U.S. basketball group. And I was already going to do that, but what was bigger was I was blessed to have the opportunity and to now be an assistant coach who will go with these young men. We'll have another training camp in late July, and straight from Houston and training camp and straight in July, I will get to go after the gold with the U16 group as an assistant coach and to Buenos Aires, Argentina.
So we're not talking about a 1-week assignment.
Oh, this is.
We're not talking about you flew out last week and that's it.
The next time we go back, as long as pandemic doesn't slow some things down, I mean, there's still some possibilities of that with all that. I'll have an opportunity to be away for probably about 3 weeks doing a training camp, helping to select a group of 12 out of this group of kids and getting them prepared to see if we can go chase gold for the summer.
So wait a minute, that means he's going to have to call in remotely for the show?
Probably for 3 weeks.
Remotely?
So
well,
we had to figger some things out.
I hope it's 3 weeks, because if it's 3 weeks, that means y'all going to the championship game. So I hope it's 3 weeks.
We're definitely gonna have to probably get me on what's that?
StreamYard?
StreamYard.
So hold on, Coach.
Yeah, we can do StreamYard.
Here's the question, Coach. You mean to tell me, when you come back, this studio is going to be all ripped up, because me and him going to be at each other's throats. Krissy's going to have to get a referee shirt.
Krissy, I need you to hold the fort
Please
down,
don't
baby.
go. Don't leave me with
Hey,
these two.
We need Coach T, the fat head on the wall. We just put it up right here.
Right
Just
there,
have
right
it
there?
ready to go. Yeah, be perfect.
All right.
I was air high fiving last week.
You were air high-fiving last week.
But hey, look, Steve.
This is a tremendous opportunity.
It's unbelievable, man. And if anyone deserves it, it's you. And the work you've put in. And USA Basketball is extremely lucky. And these young men are extremely lucky. And coaches to have this opportunity to have somebody like you there. I mean, so excited for you. And now that it's out, obviously it's been a couple days or a week or whatever it was.
Right, there have been some,
But for us, I mean, couldn't be more proud. And I mean, talk about it a little bit. I mean, what's going through, emotions and.
I mean, as I told them, I was nervous, anxious,
of course,
and excited all at the same time. You know, you do this long enough. You certainly, when you're in your own house, you're very comfortable.
Sure.
And when you move to someone else's house, even though it's what you do, you have this feeling of, don't let me mess this up. Let me make sure I got this right. Let me make sure I'm well prepared. But I think it's like anything. Even when when I took this job over from Coach Myers, the one thing I learned immediately is you're never fully prepared, but you learn on the go. And I've been blessed in this position to be able to work with staff-wise with some unbelievable coaches, some of the best minds, some of the best coaches across the country. Shout out to Coach Sharman White, who now has moved into the head position for this group, and Eric Flannery from Ohio, to be able to work with them and serve them in this group. I can't. It's hard to put into words how excited I am and how blessed I feel and honored to have an opportunity to. I think there's none like it, being able to represent your country. And certainly in the times that we've been living in over the last year or so, with all the different things that go on, here's an area where I get to be a part of our nation and in our country, doing something together. I think we've watched us be apart for some months now, and I'm excited to be in a position with a group of our country doing something as one, and I just can't wait.
It can't be any cooler than that. It just can't. But what I'm going to follow up is, I would imagine not fears, but in the back of your mind, okay, we're getting out of this pandemic. I'm finally, hopefully, getting my basketball court back. I got camp coming up. I'm putting all this on you.
It's there.
Jared's recruiting and getting my guys, in the direction they want to be, and it's like, I got to balance all this.
Yeah, it has been tough, but it's the hat I wear, so I'm figuring it out, and I'm making it happen.
Yeah.
Literally the hat you're wearing.
The hat I'm wearing, but
the balance.
But I mean the hat of the balance. Yeah. For me, it was like, damn, man, I'm not going to Indy to be with Jared and watch him play and see how things will go with him and dealing with his recruitment, and then all right, I got to get camp ready. Oh God, we got summer league games coming up next week.
Anniversary.
Oh wow, we don't have a gym, and I got to figure out how to get all these new incoming freshmen and find out who wants to even try out for a freshman summer league team. Oh, and by the way, the JV guys, they didn't have a summer last year either. We got to get them together. Yeah. So literally coming off of a plane yesterday to coming home and setting up emails to follow up emails that I sent out before I went away with parents, letting them know that there will be 2 days of tryouts this Tuesday and Wednesday for our freshman and JV summer league, and then those teams will be picked on Wednesday to practice Tuesday and Thursday. Oh, and by the way, they're having their first 2 games Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
And then the varsity, we haven't. Our guys have been traveling with their club teams, and you know what, guys, you got a summer league game Tuesday night, and you got two on Thursday. So it's been a whirlwind. Calling my coaches, making sure they're in place to cover things that I won't be able to cover while I'm away. And it's been a lot, but you know what? I'm excited to be back in this whirlwind because I've missed it for too long.
Yeah.
Wow.
God bless.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm going to go back to the cliche. Luck favors the prepared man. Now, they wouldn't ask you to do it if you couldn't do it. And you wouldn't be there if you couldn't be there. So I want you to make sure you have that confidence. I know it's a different arena. It's the sport you know and love.
Definitely, and I have to, I have to speak to, and I want to thank the right people. Is BJ and Coach Show for having the sight to say that we think Steve Turner's good enough.
Right.
And Sean Ford and all the people who are the hierarchy at USA Basketball that says, we believe enough in Coach Turner that he could be a part of this group to help lead this team. So I just want to thank all those guys. I want to thank the guys who were in the position that I was in originally as court coach, Coach Dom at Strake Jesuit, and Coach Fitch who were there at camp with us, and all those guys who've just said, Steve, we trust you, we believe in you, and we know that you'll come and do the best and give these young men the best. So I just want to thank all those guys with USA Basketball who were part of allowing me to have this opportunity.
So you go out there and you might be a little overwhelmed, and you're like, where's the moment where this is real? Like I'm going to go out on that court tomorrow in USA basketball gear, and there are going to be 38 young men who want to be a part of this, or however that works.
Yeah. So, you get there. We're quarantined for a couple of days. So
no, I'm sorry. You forgot one important part. Where the person with the sign that says Steve Turner's waiting at the airport, your car service. Don't forget that part.
All that stuff was fun. That's
right.
That's the glitz and glam. That's the cool glitz and glam.
No. He's like, there's a sign that you know what? I've had that sign once in a big spotlight. I've had that sign a few times, but one time there was a Kurt Cross who was supposed to be picked up from some airport, and it wasn't me. I took a picture of it.
Same time?
Yeah, I took a picture of it, but it wasn't for me. I mean, we've had car services in Vegas and that, but. There's a Steve Turner USA basketball sign because someone's there to pick you up.
So that's
what kind of car was it, Steve?
It was a
sedan.
It was an SUV.
Big boy.
Big boy.
Smoked out windows, probably.
The big boy. It was nice and
American made, right? SUV. Talking Chevy.
Maybe a Cadillac.
Escalade.
They had some bottles of water in there for you.
Yeah, it was good.
The treatment.
Good leg room, and you're heading to the hotel. And
how heavy were your bags? Oh, that's right. Someone probably carried them.
No, I carry my bags.
Yeah, whatever.
I carry my bags. I carry my bags. But you get there and you start feeling it. You're like, all right, it's about we're gonna be here, and it's about time to it's game time.
Mm-hmm.
Get that mind right. Get yourself right. You're still having some jitters. Honestly, I probably haven't had those jitters since the last time I played in a real game myself.
Okay.
And so it's just you want to be able to do the right things because these young men are impressionable. You want to make sure you're giving them all of who you are and making sure that they're getting all the things that they need to give themselves the best chance to make it because everyone there is not going to make this team.
Right.
So you're trying to make sure that you are coaching them up. Making sure you know exactly what we're doing. So spend some time on film and going back in some old some other camps, books, and making sure that you're prepared with all the things that could come up.
And this is unfamiliar territory for some of those boys, those young men.
Well, this is the first time. This group is their first time. So.
And on their respective teams, they're going to make that team back in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, or Topeka, Kansas, or wherever.
These are some of the best of the best in the country.
Right.
And so these, I think the coolest thing is being able to see these guys have to check their egos at the door.
Because everyone's that good.
Yeah. And you're not going to be a guy on this team that's a 20-point-a-night guy regularly, and there's going to be some roles that you may change it to. Guys may have to play different positions and
did Show talk about that with some of his guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the same model. Yeah.
I mean,
it's what they need of you to get the gold.
That's it. We're trying to put the best 12 guys together to get the gold. And rankings and all those other things kind of go out the door. It's how can we find the best 12 guys cohesive enough to make sure we
get the gold.
We go finish the mission.
Right.
And so, I think it all was surreal for me the moment we walked into Strake and then we got started.
Right.
And once that, you kind of lose the jitters too at that point because it's all right. It's all missions all go.
Yeah.
You got to be on your game, ready to give who you are to these young men. I think for me, probably the most surreal moment was the first time when there's, we got different things in the practice plan where it's like, all right, Coach Turner, you're leading this.
Right.
This
defense. What have you leading?
I actually went with it was one of my offense drills.
Okay.
Little shooting drill that we do, at Gonzaga, and so came natural, but still, it's that.
It's not your 12.
It's that moment where they tell you, imagine everybody else is naked and you're standing up on stage. It's one of those type things. And just once you get going, you just be who you are.
You fall right into that familiar place with the sport you love because
Sure.
Your one word was love.
Yep.
Your one word was love. We are excited. Last time I was this excited for you was what? At the Verizon Center when you won that title.
Title,
I always talk about it because that was a very huge moment for all of us who support him.
08, 09, yeah.
That was very, very important to us. And now your success, again,
I think
it's how we feel for Gus when he gets his success.
It's funny that you bring that up because it was pretty cool to get a few texts from some of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got some from like a lot of the guys, but that special group. That's first championship.
Right.
But this have a couple texts when those guys saw that I was.
Well, you're in a familiar place because this will be your first gold. This will be your first goal.
It better be.
And
we have no choice.
That's got to come in studio. We got a ways, yeah.
I've got every bootleg channel there is. You know I'll be watching in Buenos Aires. I'm going to be watching. It might be 4 o'clock in the morning here.
No, it's the same time because Buenos Aires is almost, it may be 2 hours ahead.
That shows you how well-traveled I'm not.
Maybe ahead. Well, long story, but we were in Brazil a long time ago.
I'm going to watch. You know I'm going to watch because that's how I came back into contact with David Vanderpool when he was playing overseas with some Russian team, Maccabi somebody or whatever.
And
I'm like,
and speaking of Dave, I missed Dave this weekend. So I'm on my way here. I'm talking to my mom. She spoke to Dave, who was in Indy because his son was playing there, and his son was like, "Hey, Dad, Jared's here." Right. So Dave reached out to mom. Was like, "Is Steve here?" And she was like, "No, he's down in Houston." And so we ended up crossing paths and having a chance to see each other's sons play.
Well, look, the Take It To Yo family is extremely proud of all the success we've all had. We're extremely proud that Krissy's back on the road. We're extremely proud that there's a challenge coming up that you're going to be a part of, Coach O'Neal. We're extremely proud of the gear you're wearing and the role you're going to play with Coach Show and that whole USA basketball model. I believe Grant Hill is taking that over, right? He'll be the head of it
He'll
eventually.
be the head of it soon.
Yes. So thank you for what you do for these young men. I always thank you guys. We're excited to watch, ladies and gentlemen, our USA basketball U16 coaches in the building. We had them here first. DJ Krissy, let's have a word from our sponsors.
Since 1939, the Collins family has served families of Montgomery County and Greater Washington with dignified professional service in their time of need. We continue the same family tradition today at our funeral home located just off the Beltway in Silver Spring, Maryland. Our family of experienced funeral directors stand ready to assist you around the clock, 365 days a year. Whether you wish to pre-plan or you have experienced a loss, please contact us to discuss how we can assist you at your time of need. Call 301-593-9500 or visit collinsfuneralhome.com.
O'Neal Development is a custom builder in Maryland, Virginia, Washington, D.C., and the Eastern Shore. Recognized nationally as a premier builder, O'Neal Development has received awards for historic restoration and urban infill work. Committed to best practices in green building, O'Neal Development also provides support in budgeting, architect selection, and design development during the critical stages of planning. O'Neal Development, building, remodeling, and development since 1975. Find us at www.o'nealdev.com or call 301-840-9310. This segment of Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neal is sponsored by
The Tamara Cusick Team. Ready, set, sold. Real estate is more than just houses. It's about people too. The Tamara Cusick Team offers an all-inclusive approach, making the home buying and selling process efficient, financially smart, and stress-free for you. From home prep-up to complimentary staging, expert counsel to an experienced and qualified team of professionals, let's chat houses. The Tamara Cusick Team isn't just a partner. They literally sold us the home where the Take It To Yo broadcasts from each week. Visit www.tamara4homes, that's the number 4.com, or call 301-780-4663.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neal. We are back with Take It To Yo with Turner and O'Neal. Thanks for listening and watching as we enjoy meeting you here each week. Coach Casey, your Purple Eagles are winding down the lacrosse season. I know you're happy that a season was had. As a coach, I know you want the most for these young men. Let's talk IAC WCAC Challenge and some additional play that the Purple Eagles are going to get into.
Absolutely. I think it's a much needed event coming up here at the end of this week. Right. Where you get to see a postseason. And again, this season has been unlike any other. We started late. I've had a lot of hurdles personally to deal with of traveling and not doing things in the district. I mean, I feel terrible for my seniors. We're not even going to have a home game this year. Right. We had maybe 4 or 3 actual live contact practices on our campus, and these poor kids are not going to have a home game. But like you said in this intro, Kurtis, just an opportunity for the kids to play, put on the purple and white, go compete with teams. And it's amazing to see how much talent in the DMV is happening right now. Watching last night, you get to see Georgetown Prep and St. John's on ESPN3. St. John's won the game. They get to play Taft School tonight in a Geico event, which is great for the conference.
ESPN3 again?
No, they'll be on the U tonight.
They're on the U tonight.
They'll be on the U.
I'll watch
we
that.
have college lacrosse going. So many DMV kids. I think it's great that in all that everyone had to deal with, you're going to get an opportunity to see. We'll get to play Georgetown Prep. St. John's will get to play St. Stephen's. Landon and PBI will play. You'll see DeMatha and Bullis play. And then just, see the teams advance. But no matter what, go ahead. What's up?
Will this be something that keeps going on going forward?
I think we'd all like to see that happen.
I think it would be awesome.
I think we'd all like to see it. See, normally, folks, we'd be done. Here we are on Memorial Day. Our WCAC playoffs would have been May 7, 8, 9,
Right.
around then. The quarters, semis, and championship. And with the WCAC starting April 12, here we are still practicing and
Right.
playing games. We didn't get to play a normal season for us, about 20, 21 games. We've played 9. A couple scrimmages that we had to just find on the fly.
Yeah, you did.
But the IAC had a really good season, and the MIAA, they're done up there in Baltimore. But
Who won the MIAA?
so the MIAA was boys Latin
Okay.
in what people thought was going to be McDonough or Spalding's year. The way those
Spalding
guys
started
looked
off
on paper.
hot, right?
Spalding started off hot. Spalding was in the championship game. It was their first ever championship appearance in the MIAA.
Okay.
And Coach Phipps up there has done an amazing job. And BL upset McDonough in the semis and went on and won the championship. And that's a great thing for our guys, especially as we're kind of going through some of the hurdles we've had, is the last team we played in 2020 at a night game was Boys Latin. It was that Boys Latin team. And we won an incredible game, scored a game winner with 15 seconds. Fast forward a year, and you see them win the MIAA. And so reminding our guys that, we play with those guys, and we've got so much talent, not only in our program, but in this area. It's great. I wouldn't lie that everyone's looking forward to the summer as these things get restricted. We can use our field. We can use our weight room. Maybe we could take a bus ride together, and we're gearing towards that. But kudos to people putting on events like this. I just think it's just great for the area, and it's great for youth lacrosse to see that.
Excellent. Now, look, we're not going to gloss over the upcoming schedule and how big that is. What time on the U tonight? Can we catch that game?
I got to look at it. I think they will be playing at it's either 6 or 8 o'clock. I want to say 6
I'll
o'clock.
Google it. I'll find it,
I want
yeah.
to say 6 o'clock.
We don't want to gloss over the upcoming schedule, the opportunities for your team to play. But looking, forward, I believe we can start to imagine where a 2022, where normal, I say that with air quotes, may return. How many seniors are you graduating, and what will 2022 look like? Again, we're not glossing over this season.
Sure.
I know we have the challenge to go through. I think there's 1 or 2 other things you're going to try to get your teams involved with, but what does 2022 look like for you? How many are you returning? How many are you graduating? Talk to me.
So 18 seniors will graduate.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot.
But hold on now.
We have a roster of 46.
Let me do a game reset here. In basketball, you don't even have 18 players. So if you're graduating 6 in basketball, that's a lot. So is that a lot for lacrosse?
It is a lot. And here's the hard part of it. I feel like you didn't get the proper time with those seniors because,
Absolutely.
because of last year.
Juniors,
And so
you got nothing.
A year and a half and just meeting a lot of guys because a big chunk of those seniors, Kurtis, were just making the team last year as juniors.
Right.
And boom, we got a couple weeks in, not even, and the season shuts down. So then you're talking to the kids on Zoom, and then we're trying to develop that relationship.
That coach-player relationship.
From afar.
Yeah.
And again, all the hurdles to go through. So I love the group. I love the group going forward. I love the kids coming back. I love the strength of our youth with the freshmen and sophomores. We have 42 kids on our JV team. We kind of combine the freshmen and JV. I mean, the program is full of strong, healthy, hungry young men. And 2020,
you got to assess them.
Got to assess them. I think the summer is going to be what we're used to. Maybe not what they're used to, because a lot of these kids are so young they don't kind of know the cycle and the things we do. Getting them into the weight room, getting them back on the field, just playing games on that field. We'll have a couple summer events, but come September, a lot of kids will be going back to football. They'll be going soccer and some hoopsters, hopefully. But we have this weight room program.
6'7" long pole.
Oh, we got 6'7" long pole coming back next year. But I'm proud of these seniors and what they've had to go through. I think you're starting to see, because after 9 games, that's kind of mid-season for us. Mid-season.
Right.
So you're starting to see the relationships and the comfortability of the kids, and boom, this thing's going to be over before we know it, and then we got to turn around and get to start preparing for 2022.
It's crazy.
Turning our attention to another biggie in high school sports that both of you gentlemen can speak about. Talk to me about an opportunity that our student athletes are now going to have now that the live period is here. Long time coming. Talk to me about live period.
Long time coming. Well, excited for these kids who are starting to set up.
Well, please explain to the folks what it is, the audience.
So kids have an opportunity where now the college coaches can get out and see them play live. I mean, simply,
Which could not happen during the pandemic.
Could not happen during the pandemic. Has been dead for the longest. Didn't get to happen in the fall where they normally would come in and see our guys just in workouts on our facility.
So missed opportunity for some upperclassmen to get looks.
You still got 21s who haven't even found a school yet.
Right.
And then 22s who are hoping to be able to have their opportunity to get their first time to shine in the light,
right,
to be seen. Haven't had that really happen for them either. So now
you got 2 classes trying to be seen right now.
Exactly. Still got 21s trying to find a home, and the 22s are trying to get themselves set up so that they can hopefully, certainly in our sport, get to the fall where they can start setting up official visits. Now, the one thing is they are, with the new way that official visits are set up, you can get 5 as a junior. So you are seeing some juniors right now that June coaches can bring kids now on their campuses. Right. You're starting to see kids take advantage of their junior official visits and certainly unofficial visits now too, where you can go with your family and walk the campus, sit down with the coaches, maybe see a team work out, meet the strength and conditioning coaches, talk to different personnel in the school in terms of the academics. So you'll see a lot of young men and women doing that in the month of June this year. But the 2 weekends that are huge for us is that the last 2 weekends in June, there will be events going on where our boys will be able to be seen playing with college coaches
live.
In the gym.
Live.
And playing with their high schools. These guys do a lot with their club teams, and normally that's the group that gets to be seen first. This summer for basketball, the kids are going to get seen playing live with their high schools before they get seen playing live with their AAU teams. And
I'm not saying that these players are, I'm not taking away from any of their talent, but you like that model where they can be seen not necessarily only with their club team, but with their high school team too. Yeah. They play differently. Their role might be different.
And the coaches love that too.
Definitely. The roles are different. I think in a lot of ways the colleges get to see something that's a little more conducive to what it is college-wise through the high school.
Right.
But I think, and then I think on the AAU side, you get to see them in an environment where it's also like college, because colleges are trying to bring in the best 5.
Right.
Bringing in they're trying to build an all-star team to a certain degree. And you see that with the club teams. And how does a kid react when he's not the leader? Maybe he's the second or third option versus being with his high school team where he is the option. So I think there's a great balance of the two.
I've seen both.
And I'm excited that the kids are going to have that opportunity this summer to be seen through both. But for me as a high school coach, I'm excited for my guys to get to have that first opportunity, having it be done.
Getting a look-see.
Yeah.
I'm not even on the script. A question I just thought of for you. You're white collar up there in the office. You're an assistant athletic director. What is this looking like for you? Now that things are starting to get back to normal, you're bringing in students. You have a freshman class that has to come in. You've got to organize some things. There's equipment to deal with. There are teams to deal with. There are 31 team sports or whatever y'all do throughout the year. What is this looking like for you? Because I imagine it's a catch-up piece, right?
Look, just to be able to see a home game on the schedule coming up in August for football, to host a game.
How excited does that make you?
Tickets. It gets exciting. Well, it's exciting for us just to have the work to do.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but it's exciting for the kids. It's exciting for the coaches that give so much to our athletic director and to our school to be able to be on campus, to be able to give the kids something to look forward to. I'm excited just to see visitors on campus, to see young prospective students coming in for their shadow visits.
Nervous.
I mean, and that goes for Landon School and Georgetown Prep and St. John's. And I mean, it's exciting to see everybody sort of getting back to what we all love,
Normalcy.
which is serving the kids and helping the kids.
So here's something that people don't think about. You've been very good about talking about the mental health of kids during COVID. We've all been very good talking about the kids who play instruments or cheerleaders or not just the athletes. One thing we have not spent much time on is you haven't had to call an AD and figure out a bus schedule in a year.
We haven't had buses.
Right?
Well, we've had a couple in the last few weeks. We've sent our crew team on a
for
bus.
the majority of
right,
COVID,
but just to get a bus
you haven't had to worry about who's going to be at the gate,
transportation.
taking cash. You haven't had to worry about staffing a concession stand, or is the band going to play?
You know what? We got to plug in this.
Look, we're having camp, and I still don't know today.
Hold on.
If your floor is available,
I want to see if the scoreboard turns on.
Right.
Is that thing ready to go? Does Daktronics need to come down?
Here's my question: are your boys ready to light up the scoreboard?
They're ready to.
All right, I'm just making sure.
They're ready to go. They are.
Just with camp, I was saying is in most summers you have a pretty kind of a routine. Going in summer to summer.
You're getting registrations.
This is how we're doing this, and this is how we're doing that. What will my daily schedule for the kids coming to camp be? Still waiting on some of those protocols.
Ordering Gatorade and all that stuff, right?
No, you can't do that anymore. Pretty much kids are going to have to bring their own stuff.
Okay,
You're not going to provide some of those things that you know.
What is T-shirts to get? And
certainly, the
coach
T-shirts
trainers.
are sitting there. They were ordered a year ago and they need to get used. So I'm smart.
I forgot about that.
I never put dates on our T-shirts. So there's brand new boxes of T-shirts.
Hold on, time out. You mean your
camp
campus is going to get the 2020 joints? Even though they don't say
they're
it?
nice. Hey, don't hate on those shirts.
They're 2021 because there was no 2020.
There you go. Okay.
And they'll fit just the same.
Hey, and again, kudos to Gonzaga, the way they're doing graduation.
Appreciate
it's coming up this weekend, right?
Back to back, baby.
I love that. I told that story to a bunch of people, and I told Paula. She almost was teary-eyed. I said, you know what you can't do? You can't graduate the 21s, Paula. You know why? Because you got to graduate the 20s first.
Now, I have to go back because I'm going to have to talk to my AD here.
Okay.
We need to take a trip with some administration.
To go golf?
No, to Strake Jesuit.
I've been there.
We got some work to do.
We played in the Jesuit event in 2011. Have they changed it all?
Well, they've changed it up again.
Been to Dallas
they have
Jesuit.
a $23 million project going on their campus right now. So that's where we were this past week.
For USA, right?
For USA. And Coach,
they're doing some things.
Trust me.
We got some stuff we got to do. The Jesuits down in Houston, they moving a little faster than us right now.
Just go to anywhere in Montgomery County or Arlington County to some of these schools, Episcopal and Landon. I mean, come on. We know it.
Unbelievable.
We know it.
Coach,
they're doing their work down there.
But, I say that there's still opportunity because they are landlocked just like us. A little more land, but they are landlocked.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Well,
they
were
more than one field.
They've bought up in that area. There was a row of apartments or something that they got, and they've been able to keep building onto their campus. But it's not the gym that I remember, because you remember when Coach Myers was the head coach, every other Christmas it was Strake Jesuit or Dallas Jesuit. Mm-hmm. It's not the Strake Jesuit I remember. That place is unbelievable.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming right back with our weekly sports wrap-up. DJ Krissy, let's do it.
Let's get social. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter.
Connect with us on Instagram and Facebook at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, and on YouTube. Search Turner and O'Neill and then click subscribe.
Become a friend of the program. Friendship contributions start at just $25. Each contribution helps to fuel Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill. To find out more or make your contribution, go to www.turnerando'neill.com and click Become a Friend.
At Peace Players, we use the power of sport to unite, educate, and inspire young people to create a more peaceful world. We offer sport programming, peace education, and leadership development to those living in communities in conflict. We challenge the hate that is driven by the fear of our differences. We bridge divides between people through the game of basketball, and we develop young leaders who help to change perceptions. Find out more at www.peaceplayers.org. This segment of Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill is sponsored by
Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. With a stellar reputation as an outstanding mortgage lender, Ray Cruz serves the lending needs of real estate professionals, builders, and individual home buyers in Maryland, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Texas, California, Florida, Illinois, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Ray believes that integrity is the cornerstone of his business, and helping you achieve your home financing goals is his business. Located in the heart of Bethesda, Maryland, contact Ray P. Cruz today to get started. Your home mortgage or refinance options await. Call 301-761-2278 or visit raypcruz.com. Ray P. Cruz, mortgages intelligently.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill.
Welcome back to Take It to You with Turner and O'Neill. This week's episode is brought to you by Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Now, our weekly sports wrap-up. Coach O'Neill, we talked about the hometown Caps getting bounced last week, so the Bruins moved on. The Golden Knights, who you like, took 7 games to finish the Wild. Tampa went to 6 with the Panthers. Are you seeing any teams that can knock you off your perch of the Golden Knights, versus Lightning, as you predicted?
Colorado Avalanche. They took it to the Golden Knights in game 1.
My whole team
put up 7 on those dudes.
Yeah, man.
So that's your first answer. I think Carolina is going to give Tampa all they can handle, and I think whoever wins that series advances to the Stanley Cup, the Carolina-Tampa series, because the Islanders and the Bruins are going to beat each other up in this series, and I just feel like the firepower in either Carolina and or Tampa are going. And I think it also helps a little bit if you watch a Carolina Hurricanes NHL game, it's 20,000 fans, full throttle.
I mean, it helps to have them, right?
Loud. And you go up to Boston, and then you go up to the Islanders, and there's still fans in there, which is great to see, but it's crickets in the first, 100 level, and then they let all the fans get up there. So out of the West, I don't think that the Canadian teams, and we still have one more Game 7. We have a Game 7 tonight. You've got the 2 of the most famous programs. You got the Maple Leafs and the Canadians going at it in Game 7. And they'll take on Winnipeg, but
is that really happening? Because they're in their bubble up there. That whole Canadian circuit, right?
How are they going to get through customs?
I do not know.
Or are they going to let them? And speaking of no fans, there are no fans up in those, at least that you could see when they're playing. I think it's whoever wins the Colorado, a Vegas series, and then whoever wins the Lightning Carolina.
No
series.
love to the folks up north, huh? North of the border.
Don't care. I don't want to see anybody from the Metropolitan League.
Here's a question for you.
Just saying.
I'm not watching that much now. I did watch more in game or the first round because the Caps were there. Why do I feel like round 2, and we're still got to finish round 1.
Right.
Why do I feel like there's not as much fanfare in this round 2 as there was in round 1? Maybe because everyone was just excited to get to the playoffs, or
because it's early. Give it a few games. You say fanfare like the guys battling and getting after
right. Just it doesn't seem as electric.
It will be.
Okay.
It definitely will be. And
money's about to be on the line.
But what I also notice is the pace that some of those other teams play at that our beloved Washington just isn't right now.
Yeah.
At least when they've gotten into the playoffs the last 2 or 3 years. So that's something management needs to figure out about speed, about youth, and coming in, and goaltending.
Does Ovi resign?
I think he does.
The Caps are in a pickle. We talked about it last week. They've gone through a few coaches, and you're not making a coaching change again this year.
No, Laviolette is
yeah, but you got bounced. You got, 4-1, right?
It was 4-1 after winning but we talked about how the seesaw of a series can go on an unlucky bounce, which it did in 2 straight.
Yeah, but at some point you got to get lucky, brother.
Games.
Some point you got to get lucky, right?
I hear you.
Yeah, at some point you got to get lucky.
And they got unlucky.
Yeah, they did.
NBA.
Let's turn to the NBA. Clippers and Suns have made it interesting, tying their respective series 2-2. The Clippers, are they Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Because they looked terrible in their first 2.
They did.
And they neutralized Luka. Luka only hit 19 last night.
They are definitely Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I'm just happy to see them winning. I want to see them. I want to see what they could really do if they're playing.
If they really do it,
playing at their best, even if they lose. Like, they have yet to play their best. I don't think they played their best basketball.
You want to see what that looks like.
I want to see what that looks like.
Right.
And then with the Suns, man, hey, CP3, man, keep winning, baby. I know that's your Lakers.
Yeah, no.
I know that's your Lakers.
I could be objective,
but I'm just excited for him.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I love.
And for me, it's just the mannerism he's doing it in. He really is being the elder statesman, and he is bringing this young group along, and doing it now while injured. It's been fun to watch.
Only in sports is the elder statesman like 33 years old.
Isn't that crazy?
So my thing is, no, you know what? what I'm loving most about Phoenix, and I hope they lose to the Lakers because they're my Lakers, but is that I've never been a Chris Paul fan, and I'm learning to like him for reasons other than just basketball. It's the leadership.
Yes.
It's he doesn't talk too much trash, but he has a little bit of mouth, and I like that.
No.
he can.
Chris talks some stuff.
No,
He talks some stuff.
He's not DeMarcus Cousins talking,
No.
right? You know what I'm saying? He's not that guy. So he does it in the right way. Like we talk about fans who need to have that, banter in the right way. He's having it the right way. As you and I spoke before the podcast, someone has to step up for the Lakers if Anthony Davis annually is going to go down, because he is.
Do you guys think there's anything to the fact that he has lost that many playoff games with my man?
The ref?
Who's from here, by the way?
Yeah. Chris Paul said it. He said something about 19 playoff games we've lost with like Casey O'Neal as the referee or whatever, or whoever the referee is. I'm just saying, I would like to think there's nothing to it, but after a while, if it looks like a duck.
That's an interesting stat.
If it looks like a duck, right? If every time, I know you would feel that, if every time Felipe did a game.
Because there's a couple guys that I don't want to see on certain games in our league.
Right.
Absolutely. By the way, with the exception of one series, I think this first round NBA playoffs, even if it's a 3-1,
right?
it's been amazing.
Yeah, it has been.
It's been outstanding.
I definitely
and
have
we
watched
know the
more
series
NBA basketball this year than in the playoffs than I ever have.
Loved it.
What is happening with the Wizards?
Well, that's the series that, with the exception of one series.
No, I think the Heat.
You mean
the Heat Bucks, because they just smash them.
Well,
but
the Wizards just still need some more pieces. I mean, like I said the other night, to see them lose that game and Russell goes for a triple-double.
Right.
And then Bradley had a double-double. And you're saying, like, when you see most nights with a team's best two players doing that, they're in the mix, but they still lose by 30.
Right.
Because Philadelphia is that good.
Well, they're role players. When they are on, and you have no answer for Embiid.
I will say this, too. Lakers and Philly have thrown the analytics in the trash.
How so?
Everybody else is 3-point.
Right.
These are two teams that could end up making it into the finals and going against each other, who are still playing big boy basketball.
And they're not elite 3-point shooting teams.
Correct.
Right. And so for Embiid, I always going to default to using a Laker name or whatever. But even if the Wizards had a DeMarcus Cousins, someone who could try and body somebody up, they just don't have the big man.
No, they don't.
No.
And I'm not talking about the traditional Patrick Ewing big man. Do they have anyone over 6'10" who's athletic enough to run up and down with Embiid?
Their 6'10" guys are shooting threes.
Right. So you see, and Embiid can do that.
Yeah, I'm just speaking to general.
Sure.
Yeah, but Embiid can shoot the three, but he can also defend the rim, and he can also take you off the dribble and throw it down on you.
Lopez, love him. Gafford, who they picked up, and there's one other. A Len is the other guy that they have. They're just not hanging with Embiid.
They're not.
That's not.
They're
happening.
not top tier.
Like them, good
men.
guys. A couple extra rebounds, pass it back out to Russell or Bradley Beal, Hachimura. I don't know. They're just overmatched.
What happened to the Heat? Like they completely
They left it in the bubble.
Yeah, they did.
That is true.
They left it in the bubble.
Milwaukee is pretty damn good too.
Oh,
and I
no
think
doubt.
Milwaukee is still frustrated from what happened last year and maybe the last 2 years.
Well, they took it out because you know what? They didn't play with their food. They did not play with their food. They went ahead and took care of that. Hawks Knicks, that's a great series.
Even at 3-1, it's a great series.
I think even at 3-1, it's a great series. But last night the Hawks took it to them, didn't they?
They did.
They did.
I'm happy for New York and just New York in general.
Oh, please.
I am. Here's my reasoning. The NBA needs New York to be good.
That is true.
It's just,
Those big market teams,
and not Brooklyn.
It just is what it is.
The Knicks.
Well, Brooklyn is good. I mean, they're good.
I mean, it's fun watching old Spike with the orange hat on, storming up and down the sidelines,
and being in the Garden
for his boys. And just the Garden is the Garden. I've had a chance to coach in there, so believe me, I understand its mystique.
You have not been. Are you?
I've been to the Garden.
You have been.
I
to
told
the
the story last week about
right,
Buck Williams.
Yes, you
tickets.
did. Yes. The Garden is nothing like the Garden. Let's turn our attention to a sport that will take center stage today, and it took center stage yesterday. Boston College women won their first ever Division I lacrosse title, 16-10 over Syracuse. Look, I'm going to pause parenthetically to say, if you didn't watch that game, try to find it on YouTube or some replay. That was a hell of a game. This was Boston College's fourth straight finals appearance, and they finally won it all yesterday. They beat a Syracuse team who had previously beaten them twice during the regular season. You know how hard it is to beat a team three times in one season. Charlotte North, a senior attacker, broke the single-season scoring record for Division I women's lacrosse, scoring 6 goals for a total of 102 goals for the season. Y'all understand she played like 20, 21 games this year. So she's averaging over 5 goals a game. 12 times this year, she had games with 5 or more. She had a couple of 7s and maybe one 8-goal game. Casey, talk to me about this young lady and talk to me about Boston College.
Sure. I love highlighting women's lacrosse and shout out to Boston College for winning that title. Never given up. They have been on the doorstep. There, getting ready to knock and break through that door.
And can't win it.
Heartbreak. And they never gave up. And you know what? They had to do it this year where they upset a North Carolina team in the Final Four who was undefeated. And props to Syracuse for getting to what could have been their winning their first championship.
And they were in it for a hot minute.
The most famous, Mr. Gary Gate of all time, coaching, looking sharp with the tie on the sideline. But you know what? What he did with that Syracuse women's team, they had multiple starters injured out this year to get them to that final. And you mentioned that game yesterday. The first half was off the charts.
It was.
Second half, BC kind of showed what they could do.
I think
it was a 1-goal game.
Someone was up by 1.
9-8 at half. But incredible story about Boston College and their coaching staff, and for them to win and to advance. Extremely, extremely happy for them. And look, we had another first-time champion yesterday in the men's Division III, RIT.
NESCAC?
No, they're not in the NESCAC. That joke's getting old, Steve. But RIT upset. Well, not upset.
Well, you want him to play referee? You can't say it to my face.
Finish?
You said it to Steve, but you can't say it to me.
Men's Division III championship, RIT. The Tigers beat Salisbury. Salisbury is a 14-time national champion. My heart goes out to Salisbury because one of our goalies, Matty Back, was on that team, and they didn't pull it out. But congrats to them. It's great to see first-time champions, whether it's at the D1 level, D2 level, D3 level. But today's game.
Did D3 get any love on TV? Was that?
So they did. So it's you can stream it. I think it's ESPN Plus or one of those. They don't get the ESPNU or the ESPN2. The D2 champion was Lemoyne for the men. But again, I know we're talking about the women here. Congrats to BC. What will not be a new champion are the 2 heavyweights going at it today.
You want to talk about heavyweights. Now, Mr. Clutch couldn't come through for us last weekend.
I don't think anybody could have come through with the defense that Maryland's
had. Defense.
I'll tell you what, Duke's coach, he looked like he aged in that very game.
Coach
I was watching that. So in men's lacrosse, the stage is set for this afternoon's May Madness final between UVA and the Maryland Terps. The Terps, who are looking to complete the perfect season, find themselves in somewhat familiar territory as another John Tillman Terps squad will play for a championship. What do we know about these two teams? I mean, when they go face off, I'm putting the TV out back when I barbecue to watch this one.
So
old school brawl.
It's going to be an old school brawl.
Old school brawl.
It's going to be an old school brawl. And again, I got to go back to UNC. My heart went out because one of my guys was on that team who won a great award, by the way. I texted you guys about getting the highest GPA in the Final Four. I think Maryland, and I love this because they're not an underdog, but they've been playing like an underdog this entire season because of the social media. Oh, they're just playing the Big Ten schedule. They're not playing anyone outside.
They're hearing all that tripping, right?
That's out of their control. They're a 3 seed who's got to go play a 6 seed at the 6 seed's home stadium with Notre Dame last year. Jared Bernhardt, who is a dude.
He's
number 1 for the Terps.
Are we talking, is he the best in the country?
Yes, I think he is. I think he's proven it time in. They are a complete team. Coach Tillman always has his guys prepared, whether they're not as talented as another team. Virginia, too, has got a little magic going behind them. Okay. But
what seed
again? Virginia was the
4?
Yeah, they're either the 4 or the 5 seed because you had Carolina, you had Duke, 1 and 2 that are out now. So, look, Virginia was the last team to actually win the national championship. Okay. And a lot of the same faces on that team, and that's what we talked about last week. So they're used to winning. They're used to coming back. They're used to this stage. But Maryland, Coach T, what do you think?
I think Maryland's is.
I mean, they're complete.
16-11. 16-11
so complete.
They make plays. You know, a lot of times you get to this point.
But the easy 50-50 grind your plays.
But you get to this point coach, and you know this is a coach, and you know this is a coach. You get to this point, what we call the pinnacle, the championship.
Right.
As a coach, we've done everything we're supposed to have done.
Yes,
to get these guys ready. We're gonna find out who the men, and we're gonna find out who the boys.
Right.
And right now, Maryland's playing like a bunch of men. Like, hats off to UVA for getting here and doing what they've done. They messed up my pool, knocking out Carolina. I thought I had the finals picked.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about.
I thought I had the finals picked, and those guys ruined it for me. But Coach Tillman, I think, has done an unbelievable job, and we talked about this, I think, a couple weeks ago on the show, and I said this, was that I think he's the master of finding out who his personnel is and playing to a style and getting the most out of them. It's not always just his formula. He's a mixologist. He finds a way to change it based on the personnel and who he has. Hey, if there's no vodka, I'm gonna find a way to get this Moscow Mule made with some bourbon. I don't care. We're gonna fix it and we're gonna get it right. And if those dudes play defense and win, like you said, win the 50-50 balls the way that they've been able to, and then get downhill and finish,
there's no weakness.
Maryland's gonna be national champion.
So I want to give a shout out to all college coaches, not only college basketball, college lacrosse, any sport, with the exception, yes, for football. But football, you've got a week to prepare for another team. You don't play a bowl game on a Saturday and then go play for the national championship bowl game on Monday.
A week or two, right?
A week or 2 weeks. So when you're watching the NCAA tournament in basketball, and those guys have 2 days to prepare for a new opponent, and NCAA lacrosse, you play a Final Four game on a Saturday, and boom, you got to have 48 hours to prepare for another top 5 national team. And to get those guys ready to have that scout report. So a game like today, a lot of it goes out the window. The first half is feeling each other out, 50-50 plays on the ground, just kind of who wants it a little bit more, and then you can kind of make your adjustments. But for college coaches to be able to, and the budgets they have, to get their kids prepared for a game in 48 hours is next to impossible. Yeah. And the Division III, I know you're going to say NESCAC, no. But those guys had to play first round games and second round games because of the pandemic and everything squeezed in on back-to-back days, Saturday and Sundays, and then go play a semifinal and quarterfinal on back-to-back days. What these college coaches do, people underestimate how hard they work and what they give these kids.
I'm glad you said that. I told the kids the other day, I'm going to mess up the teams, but I told them, I said, what Duke is doing right now or what UVA is doing right now, actually, that's what it was. I said, what UVA is doing right now, they know Duke because they've already played them.
Sure.
So I said, half their coaching staff is watching Maryland film.
Sure.
Right now to try to figure things out because they know what they're facing in Duke if they're going to play them. But that's what they're doing because they have to play Monday. I am adjusting 16-9 Maryland. I'm going to go 16-9 Maryland.
Okay.
Thank you to you, especially you,
thanks.
Partially you, because you've got me in a sport that I could barely spell a year ago. I don't even know. I couldn't even say, I would have said T-Wera, right? I would have said that before. I'm going to put a TV on my deck today.
It's fun,
to watch that game.
And watching the women's game.
Me and Adam watched the women's game. We sat there and watched it and loved it.
And I know how much you love women's college basketball.
Yeah.
It has the same, I mean, you can see the movement and how hard
it's. You want a tear in your eye? I started to see some similarities between basketball and lacrosse yesterday. Y'all been talking to me about it, right?
It's funny because we talked about it a little bit in our coaches' meetings at USA, just how the game is so much alike. So much alike.
So thank you guys for that.
Well, today, good luck to former guest DeMaurice Smith's son, Alex, number 39, who is a starting D-Midi and a lot of WCAC love. And not to brag, but I'm watching those games, and there's probably a dozen young men that I've coached in the Under Armour All-American game.
Can't feel better.
Oh, I get so excited about those guys. But, of course, my heart goes out to my guys.
It's the same. You feel when you see your guys.
All the time.
And I feel, you know how many baseball players Chris has been behind the mic for that are playing at some college somewhere?
Unbelievable.
Let me tell you something about that program I call baseball games for. I did their senior night. There are kids that are committed to colleges whose names I've never said. That's how good those kids are.
Wow.
They're committed to play baseball at some schools. I've never said their name because they haven't gotten in games.
Wow.
But they're still that good.
Yeah.
They're still that good. DJ Krissy, let's hear from our advertisers. We invite your questions, comments, and show ideas. Simply go to www.turnerandoneal.com and click Submit Your Idea.
Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our partners, sponsors, and donors. Our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Our partners, the Tamara Cusick Team, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, Insurance Alliance Group, LLC. Our sponsors, O'Neill Development, LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, Peace Players International. Our donors, Winsight Media, Gene the Barber, Body and Beyond Wellness.
Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill can be found on more than 15 podcast platforms. Listen to us on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Spotify, and other popular podcast platforms. Tune in on your preferred podcast platform. Be sure to listen, subscribe, and spread the word. Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill records weekly with episode drops each Thursday at 11 a.m.
Portions of the podcast were previously recorded. Now, back to Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill.
We are back, and now it's time for our final word. Some thanks, and of course, our weekly quote this week offered by Coach Turner. We invite you to become a friend of the program. To do so, go to www.turnerandoneal.com and click Become a Friend. We are now seeking advertisers for Season 3. In Season 1, we delivered more than 100,000 viewers and listeners to our advertisers. Now is the time to secure your placement in front of our audience each week. Become a partner, sponsor, premier partner, or donor for as little as $25 per episode. Advertising opportunities include on-air commercials, social media inclusion, YouTube exposure, and more. Our advertising spots will sell out. To secure your placement for Season 3 now. No payment will be due until July. We make it easy. Reserve your spot with no payment until July. Connect with us socially on Facebook and Instagram at Turner O'Neill Podcast and on Twitter at Turn On Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and via all podcast platforms to get the episode drop alerts. This means each week when we release an episode, you'll get the ding to your device and you'll be among the first to know when new episodes are available. We encourage you to join the conversation. By the way, someone did write in and they thanked you guys for discussing mental health, not as just a catch line for Mental Health Mondays, but I have to pull the email. I forgot to tell you guys. Someone did thank you guys for doing that. So join the conversation. Write to us with your questions and comments at turnero'neillpodcast@gmail.com. Before we sign off, many thanks to our listeners and viewers. We want to spread the word, and we want you to help us do so. So do us a favor and hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend, and we ask that you help us grow our community. I must also thank our engineer, DJ Krissy, you two gentlemen, Coach Turner and Coach O'Neill, and of course, Paula. Thanks to our donors, sponsors, and partners, we encourage our audience to support those who support us. DJ Krissy, what's the word, young lady?
Word.
All right, that's the word.
Word
All
is
right.
word.
Gentlemen, any final thoughts, Coach O'Neill?
Word up. Word.
He's jealous he didn't get karaoke last week.
I know I didn't
couldn't
get
help
carried.
it.
You guys still haven't told me what you're saying.
You know what? You weren't here to moderate. It was a little crazy.
It was like the T&O Zoo in here.
I can't wait to watch.
Yes, sir.
I can't. I'm watching it. Matter of fact, that's gonna be. I'm putting it on. That's gonna be my on the flight watch.
All right, watch
All
us.
right,
See what happens.
my word, Coach T. Good to have you back, and congrats, man. You just make us proud, baby.
Thank you.
My final word is about today, and today is Memorial Day. And my mother sent me a bunch of letters and pictures of my grandfather, her father, Richard T. Willis, who I never met but served. I'm looking at a letter from Harry Truman, Edgar Hoover.
Wow.
But most importantly, a letter brought when he served to my grandmother and telling her how much he loved her and how much he can't wait to see his daughter, my mom, when he returns from the war. And my mom sent that while we were here on air. So shout out to all those who have served the Memorial Day and what today's about. And thinking about my grandfather, who I've never met. So God bless.
All right. Coach Turner.
I have nothing after that.
No.
Right?
I do have a quote, but I have nothing else.
Like he
after
dropped
that.
the mic.
Mama O'Neill, we love you. That was awesome.
Thank
you for sending that to your son. And, man, I'm about to bring a tear to my eye.
All
bro.
right.
That's big time. That's huge.
Yeah.
Oh, there. I got nothing.
Go.
Nothing after that. So I'm going to give you guys my quote. And it's about living life. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Fall down, get your ass back up.
DJ Krissy, pull the plug.
Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill would like to thank our advertisers. Our premier partner, Ray Cruz and MCF Mortgage. Our partners, the Tamara Cusick Team, Dynamic DJ Entertainment, Healthy Baller, and Insurance Alliance Group, LLC. Our sponsors, O'Neill Development, LLC, Next Level Lacrosse, A Squared Home and Office Solutions, Collins Funeral Home, and Peace Players International. Our donors, Winsight Media, Gene the Barber, Body and Beyond Wellness, and Justin O'Neill. Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill is produced by Kurtis Cross and engineered by DJ Krissy. All material is the exclusive property of the podcast and may not be copied, rebroadcast, or used in any way without the written consent of the podcast. The views, ideas, and commentary of podcast guests are solely their own and not necessarily endorsed by the podcast. You may submit questions, podcast ideas, and commentary to turnero'neillpodcast@gmail.com. No compensation is offered for submitted material. Should we choose to use your idea, comment, or question, you agree to your likeness, social media identity, and/or information being used on the podcast. Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill is recorded weekly and distributed via Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more than 15 podcast platforms in total. You can also view Take a TO with Turner and O'Neill weekly on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest episode drops. Some portions of the podcast may be pre-recorded. Join us socially on Facebook and Instagram at Turner O'Neill Podcast, on Twitter at Turn On Podcast, and on YouTube. Search Turner and O'Neill and subscribe. Our website is www.turnerando'neill.com. Advertising opportunities are available.